Okay, we are plunging ahead with the next 20 cards in this set. I'm just like, look at this, look at this. I just love it. Oh my gosh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Whoa, what? So it's kind of like level up, which is a mechanic that I think is super, super underused and so cool. And I really hope they bring back level up at some point. But this is even cooler. Because whenever it becomes taps, it just moves. It just keeps going on and on. Oh my god, I just love it. It's so absurd. So it becomes a 4/1 with Evolve. Evolve is a Simic mechanic from one of the Ravnica sets where if something with greater power or greater toughness comes into play than that card, you get to put up 1/1 counter on the card. So that's pretty sweet. This mechanic is also super useful too. Yeah, this thing is a beast. Like, look at this, draw 2 cards, what? Of course you can only do it probably 1 in every 4 turns, but still, this thing can get huge. Can have huge power output. With Evolve, probably triggering, I don't know, it seems nuts. I love it so much. I love the art. Luvak the Aberrant. Protection from modified creatures. Whoa. 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 That's so cool. That's so cool. And I feel like this is fairly robust within the rules. I think this is something you're allowed to check. You can look at the printed stuff. You can look at their base power, but then stuff changes base power too. So yeah, I don't know if there's actually any privilege to printed text in the rules right now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this could work or not. I feel like if this could work, this would be a real card. And the fact that it only exists here is because the rules don't actually support checking the printed version of something. Huh. This is very cool though. Very cool. I love this too. It buffs your own guys. It removes the other guys as blockers. Yeah, this thing seems strong. It seems like a really cool power level that you can, I don't know. This is so cool. Mana Abundance. If a player would add mana, instead all players add that mana. Nice. So this is in red via like Mana Flare and such. Y'all know about Mana Flare. This is like such a cool card to me. They haven't really done this in red for quite a while though. This kind of mana doubling effect, but the fact that it's symmetrical, that both players get double mana, ooh, that's so fun. So yeah, this is kind of like a similar mentality. Red as like abundance and overflowing of resources. So this is a world enchantment, which is a very old, super deprecated type of card. The gimmick here is that there can only be one world enchantment card out at a time. If you play another one, then the previous one is sacked. So typically they're like pretty game-changing effects. Not always, but like, I don't know. I think it's actually a cool mechanic. I feel like they should maybe go back to this. But it's awkward because like matchups where both players have world enchantment are so different than matchups where only one player has a world enchantment. And it turns other copies of the card you draw completely dead. I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's some problems. But there's some neat stuff too, and some beautiful art. This card in particular, I absolutely love. My cousin had a copy when we were kids, the Chronicles one. We weren't holding a $100 card, but you know, it's pretty cool. Okay, Maro's Gone Nuts. I think I saw this one before. Double any effect that doubles. It quadruples. So of course the most famous of these is famously one of Maro's favorite cards just ever, is Doubling Season. Just an extremely popular card, period. Everyone loves Doubling Season. Look at this. Look at how much everyone loves it. It's been reprinted this many times and it's still like a bajillion dollars. Yeah, and then there's a few other cards that double stuff, I'm pretty sure. Double Strike. Nice. Yeah, okay, whatever. Double any effect that doubles. So it's not just doubling season type effects that are dealing with tokens and counters, but even double damage type effects. Does double strike count as doubling the strikes and now you have quadruple strike? Probably not. So again, this doesn't work because doubling is not well rule defined. Just like that counting card, the kids in a trench coat. Wouldn't this be nice though? Memory Bank. Draw a card. Bank. If you cast Memory Bank from your hand, exile it until the end of the match. Ah. This is a mechanic they've like talked about before as something they've tried doing a few times and they just can't make it work. Again, it leads to like not really functional play and just casual play where you're not playing matches necessarily. And then in matches, it's just like a total rules nightmare, a judge call nightmare. It would require a whole set of like meta rules around it just to figure out. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. I kind of wish it would work. I just like this idea of things going from game to game. Something that it really appeals to me about Gwent, which is the card game featured in The Witcher, is that a lot of you're paying like a best of 3, and a lot of resources carry over from those games. And then what it often comes down to is trying to choose, okay, which 2 games am I going to win? What game am I going to throw to my opponent and try to make them spend too many resources on a game that I have no stake in whatsoever, right? I think that is a really cool play dynamic. Yeah, so anything that kind of has that feel. I'm investing in the future games at the cost of the present game. Or I'm even throwing the present game in some extent to make my opponent overcommit. I don't know. It seems cool. It seems cool, but I don't think this could ever work. Metagamer. Absurd. Whoa, he's doing the infinite thing. Look at this. Look at this. All right. This is, of course, not a card they ever intended to be made. It'd be, I don't know. It's sometimes hard to tell. Like, I don't know if they actually tried to make this and then they got shut down by rules, or they got shut down because it was not actually a good card to have in the game. Other ones, it's like, I really do believe they tried their best to make it real, but it's just not something that can work in the rules. But then there's some like this, that it's obviously just a joke. But a very funny joke. I do really like this. This reminds me of a few of the cards I've seen on our Custom Magic, which is the subreddit for showing off cards you've made. One of the highest ranked posts there is it's like a creature whose power and toughness is equal to the number of upvotes this post has. I think that's just hilarious. Like, I don't know. It's really funny to me, this sort of thing. I like these looking at his computer too. So much fun. Mirrored Lotus. Whoa. 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 I love it. I love it. Yeesh. Now, I mean, it's broken, for sure, because you get access to your 3 mana first. I mean, of course, they can use it for instant effects, but that's not the same. So yes, this is in many ways, in many games, it's going to be just as broken as normal Black Lotus. Because you just combo off and kill them, and it doesn't really matter that they had a Black Lotus too. But if this was somehow just restricted to like fair-ish decks, then this would be really interesting. I think it's kind of like Mana Flare. You know, it's like you deck build to make it better for you, but almost every deck is going to appreciate it to some extent. So in certain situations, casting it actually just ruins you by how much it helps your opponent. Yeah, really cool card. It reminds me of, geez, what's it called? I was really excited about it. How do I find this? It was in Magic 2020. I'm pretty sure. What's that card called? No, Corset? Corset 22. Okay. The mana cost was just black. Let's try with that. No. The mana cost was... Oh, CMC. Okay. Scheming Symmetry. Yes, yes. Kind of reminds me of this. A very, very powerful effect mitigated by the fact that you both get to do it. I love this sort of design. I hope they make more cards like this. This is probably too bonkers, but like Mirrored Mox? Maybe? Mirrored... It's really, really hard to figure out where to draw the line. Mirrored Ancestral Recall, terrible card. I'm almost certain that that wouldn't get played. You draw 3 and your opponent draws 3? I don't know. Actually, no, that's probably still really good. I genuinely don't know. Alright, whatever. Ooh, okay, that's cool, that's cool. Really, really bad in some matchups. Like matchups where they're trying to poison you. But then better than most duels in any other matchup. So you probably don't want to play this in any format where infect decks are at all a thing, which is probably all of them besides Pioneer. But hey, it's a cool design. One with Death. Okay. How in the world could this be useful? So of course this is, why did it, what the hell was I searching? I was about to search Magic the Gathering. This of course is a reference to One with Nothing, which had a similar reception. But there are decks, not great decks, but decks, functional decks that part of their functioning involves playing this card. So I want to think there's a similar, hey, it's on One with Nothing. You can tell. Oh man, there's probably all sorts of little jokes like that that I just haven't noticed. Yeah, this is Doubling Season. Yep, we just were looking at that art. But like, I don't know what a lot of these are. Maybe you can tell. Like, maybe it is actually possible to tell just with this information. Okay. So, here's my thinking. There's this card, Hive Mind. Yeah, you can read what it does. Everyone basically casts every spell. And then this was actually used already in a combo with the Pacts. You can't search for Pacts. Like Pact of... None of these ones. Summoner's Pact. You get it for free, and then next turn you have to pay for it, or you lose the game. So this plus Hive Mind, everyone plays all of the packs. Then their turn happens next. They can't afford to pay for those packs because you've chosen ones that their deck just can't run those colors or whatever, and then they lose the game. This is a little faster. So you cast this, you have Hive Mind in play, everyone copies it, and then you counter your own version. You counter yours, you let theirs resolve. The best idea I have. I don't think there's a better one. Alright. Interesting. It's definitely worse than the Pact combo, because the Pact combo only requires one other card and it's free. This one is a 1 mana card, plus you need a counterspell. So, yeah. I don't know, maybe there's something else? Maybe there's another way to use this. It's the only thing I can think of. Patient Turtle. Hey! So it's the opposite of the Impatient Hyena, or Iguana, or whatever it was. Nice. Cute. I love it. Doesn't seem like it would be good, but whatever. Personal Decoy. There's a duck. Must remain duck planeswalker. They were loyal to Allison's request. Enters the battlefield with a number of loyalty counters on it equal to your life total. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. You can't be attacked. This seems really strong in a very controlling deck. You get to gain a bunch of life, you get to draw cards, and they basically just have an entire other body to chew through, a whole body's worth of life. Yeah, I could see this being really good. I mean, it's 7 mana, but like, if you're playing a controlling, grindy deck, you're keeping your life total high, you're maintaining a very blank board state, and then you get to turn 7 and you basically just gain 20. Gain 20 and you start drawing cards if you need to. I don't know, this seems nuts. I love it though. The art is perhaps my favorite yet of all these cards, which is saying a lot. Pick your poison. Choose any number of modes that total exactly 4. Ooh! Choose the same mode more than once. Ooh! Ooh! I love it. So they have stuff like the confluences, where you're choosing modes. You can choose the same mode more than once. It's like that sort of the same thing. But here, you get this cool adding game. You can either just get this, you can get 2 of this, you can get 4 of this, you can get 2 of this and 1 of this, you can get, I guess those are the only combinations. But it's a really, really cool design space. I hope they actually try this. Of course, this is like not a thing yet, but it's easy enough. I guess the thing is like making a mechanic like this, which would require kind of a new card design and a new way of like interfacing with card information, is like a pretty major mechanic, but the design space for like modal spells is actually pretty small, I think. Like it doesn't seem like it would be, but not so much the design space, sorry. It's not that the design space for modal spells is small. The design space for modal spells is small. I guess I did say it right. It's that you just can't have that many modal spells in a set. Like it's really crazy for the limited environment. So yeah, so it's like if this was a major mechanic of the set, then they have a ton of modal spells. It seems really crazy. If they just have this on a few cards, then it's like a huge complexity hurdle for comparatively few cards. I love it though. I wish they try this again. What I hope is that they get some feedback on these Mystery Booster playtest cards. They got some events with people actually playing with them in the wild. And then maybe they think about revisiting some of these things. Because I think this is such a cool design. I hope it doesn't fall by the wayside. Pithing Spyglass. Whoa. 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 What is the cat thinking? No more lifelink. Okay. So you just disable all lifelink. And again, they're referencing ability words, which freaks me out. And you can see here that they have to add an all text tied to that ability. Of course, tied to has no rules meaning. So that's a huge can of worms they opened. But yeah, I like this. I like this. I think if it was just keyword ability, it might be able to work. But it's a cool way to hose things, right? So this is, of course, a reference to both Pithing Needle, pretty iconic card, where you just choose a card and that card gets shut down, and then Spyglass is kind of like another take on this. It costs 1 more mana, but you get to look at their hand first. So you get a heads up. So instead of being based on a card name, now it's an ability name, which is really, really cool. It's such like a knowledge-based, matchup-based card where you're really making a strategic decision. What vector can I like shut down their deck on? Probably a lot of decks get just totally shut down by this, which is fine. I mean, a lot of decks get hosed by Grafdigger's Cage and stuff too. So like it's just how hate works. It's good. That's why people play it. Melissa Del Toro This name sounds really familiar. I think she's just a wizard's. Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought she might be like an artist, and that's why I remembered her name. But no, she works on. She used to be a competitive player, I think. Anyways, yeah, this card is really interesting. I'd love to see how this actually plays out in constructed formats. Plain Merge Elf. Land ship. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your land berry. If it's a land, you reveal it. If you do, create this guy. Okay. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield. Alright, that's fun. It's quite sane and tame. I don't see why this couldn't be made. I think it could be made. Maybe it will be made. Yeah, sure. Land ship. I like that. I like that. It turns. There's a lot of situations where you really don't want to be drawing lands. There's a lot of situations where lands are the worst draw in your deck. This makes it a little better, right? I think it would be way stronger if it was like then you may choose to put the land on the bottom of your library or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Play quick. What the fuck? Okay, well, we don't get to know what this does. This is some real crazy shit right here. Going all out for some sort of experience. I don't know how this would work in constructed play, but in draft play, hosted by a store, and they have these special booster packs. They bring one over to you. I mean, that's pretty cool. That sounds like it could be an entirely other game's worth of appeal. But oh my gosh, I can't imagine the nightmare of doing this in Magic. Like, what does this do though? I can't really evaluate this card unless I can tell you what this does. But holy moly, there's a lot of crazy potential in this kind of thinking. Like, what? So they've had stuff like Booster Tutor, which I already love. Like I just love this card so much. I think this is just brilliant. Wow, they even made a promo version of it because people love it so much. So, all right, we're just gonna move on. I think I'm gonna have to find an article or something that explains some of these, like how this works and how Legacy actually works and stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if it wasn't for their phobia of mentioning the stack, I think this is like kind of maybe doable. It kind of reminds me of like Aven Mind Sensor and stuff. You know, players can't search libraries, like that kind of crippling the mechanics of the game. I like as a white mechanic. Yeah, I don't know. I quite like it. I quite like it. Hmm. Stats are okay too. Problematic Volcano, another world enchantment. This battlefield deals 4 damage to any target. Then, starting with you, each player assigns their creatures to the left or right side of the volcano. Creatures enter the battlefield to the left or right side of the volcano. Creatures can't block creatures on the other side of the volcano. So this is quite similar to an old card called Raging River. Aren't I, by the way, could someone just point out, it's probably because it's pretty late, I'm getting tired, but aren't I good at remembering cards? I'm actually so impressed with myself sometimes. Other times I'm really disappointed with myself. Sure. Let's not worry about those times. Sometimes though, I'm actually stunned at how well my brain has cataloged its information about Magic. I know I'm totally boasting right now, and it's not very becoming of me, but isn't that amazing? How did I remember this card? I mean, I guess this card is actually pretty crazy, but like what? Had you heard of this card, hypothetical viewer? Oh, maybe you had. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, this is a throwback to good old Raging River, which hasn't been seen since like 1994. It's basically the same. Sure. Pure Steel Angel. Flying Indestructible. Exile artifacts that aren't colorless. That's pretty funny. So it's like an artifact purist. Whenever Pure Steel Angel deals combat damage to a player, you get an emblem with, if you would lose the game, it's, ooh. Alright, cool. So this is like Platinum Angel. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sniff my own farts about remembering Platinum Angel. Everyone knows Platinum Angel. Which just doesn't let you lose. I remember this card like blowing my mind when I first saw it in Mirrodin. Yeah, this is like better than Platinum Angel though, because it actually restarts the game. Whereas Platinum Angel, you'll be at negative life with your Platinum Angel out, and then the Platinum Angel dies, and then you just immediately die. Like, you can go to negative life, you can be at 0 cards in your deck, you can be at 50 poison tokens or whatever. You'll still keep playing, you won't lose, but the Platinum Angel is the only thing keeping you alive. Here, you get an entire other shot at the game. It actually seems quite strong. It's not that the game resets. There's some Lich card. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, this card isn't strong. So maybe this card isn't strong either. But it's... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because this is like, they just blow this up. But here you get an emblem. And as we talked about before, nothing can mess with emblems. I don't know. Hard to evaluate. And we'll never know, because this card will never exist. Queue of Beetles. Oh, what? Oh my god. Now, the mind reels. The mind reels. This is like some sort of crazy Lovecraftian sentence that you read it, but you can't comprehend. Then, and your mind starts speaking nonsense to you. Your internal monologue is replaced with babbling, and yet another part of your conscious mind still looks out at that sea of chaos which is the rest of yourself and demands to know why? Why? Only why can it ask? The stack is now first in, first out, instead of last in, first out. Okay, we're just gonna move on. Ooh, it's Thrall's Vanguard. What? Just settle the F down. So, you might not know about these. Even if you knew about Raging River, you might not know about these. I assume they're going to be in here. Vanguard? Yeah. So this was like an optional way of playing. They did one wave near the start of the game. These are from 1997, using the characters at the time. And basically, you and your opponent choose these ahead of time. You have it like in play from the start. It's not really in play though. It's like an emblem. It gives you this ability. At all times you can do this. It modifies your hand size and your starting life as kind of additional knobs to balance these. I think it's actually pretty cool. I kind of wish this was still more popular. And a lot of these designs are like really cool too. So yeah, they made another wave of them. I don't know when, and it was like online only. I think these actually existed in cards at some point, but I've never seen one in person actually, so maybe not. But these I think are online only, and there's just like an online mode where you get to play with Vanguards. And then the one that's really popular to play online is, what's it called? Movir. Yeah, Momir Vig. So a lot of people will play games online where you both just use this Vanguard. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so ridiculous. But there's actually a little bit of strategy to it. And you have to come up with some pretty crazy tactics on the fly to deal with the creatures you're getting. Yeah, this card, this is super cool. I think, yeah, in general, I think Vanguard is pretty cool. So yeah, you play this. Each person just plays a deck of all basic lands. It's called Momir Basic. and then you just hope that your random creatures are better than their random creatures. Okay, so what does this one do? Your starting deck contains, so this I don't think I've seen on a Vanguard before, a requirement, but I mean, that's perfectly valid design space for them, so cool. Says, cause you to draw one or more cards, draw an additional card. Okay, cool. Starting life -5, hand size +1. Cool. It's like a pretty reasonable Vanguard. The only crazy thing about it is that it has this requirement. And the fact that it's a Vanguard, I guess. But I wish they would think about these again. I don't think it ever should be like the main way to play competitive Magic. But I think in like draft formats, this is cool. You have like a Vanguard drafting round and then your normal cube draft or whatever. I think this would be a cool side event, especially if people made kind of like thematic decks based on their Vanguard. I feel like Commander has probably kind of satisfied people in the way that they would be interested in something like this, but it's pretty cool to me. Okay, we gotta keep going. Oh, that's it for this video. We still have, oh my god, we still have so many cards left. I think I might have to stop for tonight. I'm getting tired. I'm so tired that I'm bragging. Honestly, I'm so freaking humble. Have you ever heard me brag before? Yeah, I'm too tired. We're gonna stop for now. Again, sorry. Well, probably by the time this video comes out, I'll hopefully made some manga videos and such. It's been a very busy time for me. But yeah, all right. Bye bye for now.